Hey guys, so there's some changes. I got some feedback from a couple people and some friends that, maybe I should change the quality and the format of my vlogs because my camera used to suck. So I got a new camera and I got this ghetto backdrop set up. That's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing vlogs in this sort of format from now on, if that's all right with you. So the other day I was hanging out with my friend and I was like, so what are you reading on your iPad? And he's like, oh, just some fan fiction. So I knew what fan fiction was, but I never really read it or looked into it. I just, I know what it is. What's it about? Do you really want to know? Yeah. Well, right now, Iron Man is about to give birth to Captain America's baby. Yeah, so, that happened, and apart from being totally scarred for life, I demanded a copy of it because I was curious to what someone has written about my favorite comic book character, Steve Rogers. And let me tell you, it was, pretty graphic. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to dramatically read the first chapter of that fanfiction right now. Be warned, this is not safe for work. So, here we go. A dramatic reading, and it's called Confusion. Confusion. Okay, so it says, big man in a suit of armor. Take that off and what are you? The only thing you really fight for is yourself. These are quotes, okay. No, let me try that again. Big man in a suit of armor. Take that off and what are you? The only thing you really fight for is yourself. You better stop pretending to be a hero. Steve couldn't stop replaying the words in his head. See, it was like a fucking flashback. And even though he had said them to Tony over a month ago during their spit on the Hellcarrier, Steve still felt guilty that he couldn't prove himself as a hero and as a man who cared about the safety of those who inhabit the earth they call home. Guess what? The words are cut off on this copy. So fuck you, friend, for printing out a really terrible copy of this. So my English might be a little bit confusing. So he hadn't seen Tony since the Avengers disbanded after defeating Loki and his stupid army, which was almost 2 months ago. 2 months, you guys. 2 months. Oh, okay. They all went their separate ways and Steve got a little apartment in Brooklyn. It was built years before he was frozen, so it gave him comfort knowing that some things hadn't changed. Steven brought furniture, blah, 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 blah. Okay, lately, Steve couldn't... Wait, lately... Look, I am so bad at reading out loud. You have no idea. Lately, Steve had been drawing almost non-stop. It helped him cope with the pain and loneliness that he felt from the loss of his loved ones and the life he once lived. Sketching couldn't take his mind off, however, and that was Tony. Whenever Steve would wander off into his thoughts while in his studio, he would draw Tony from memory and stop daydreaming. He would look down at his work in shock that he had sketched a detailed picture of his fellow Avenger. Yay! Steve tried to figure out why he thought about Tony, but no matter how much he thought, he's doing a lot of thinking, about it, he never could come up with any answers. Okay, here's his mind dialogue. I must be going crazy. There's no reason why I should think about Tony like this, or drawing him for that matter. I guess it could be just because about how bad I was and the things I said. I should pay a visit to Tony and apologize for all the terrible things I said to him and make things right. Maybe then I'll stop thinking about it so much. Steve thought to himself as he got up from his desk and walked over to the phone. He decided to give Tony a call and see if they can meet up somewhere and talk. Blah, 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 blah. Tony and Steve talk. He gets all nervous and like a boner, okay. Let's go to the good stuff. What is going on with me? I've never had problems talking to Tony before. This just isn't like me, Steve thought to himself as he was getting ready to visit Tony. He put on a royal blue button-up shirt, light brown khakis, and a pair of dark brown dress shoes. Steve took his time getting ready, checking himself out in the mirror, and tucked his shirt into his pants. He tucked his shirt into his pants. He put on a brand new dark brown leather belt and tightened it enough so his pants wouldn't fall down. After he finished getting dressed, he went and dipped his hand into a small jar of pomade and styled his hair. I hope I look good enough for him. Wait, what? Steve thought to himself as he looked at his face in the mirror, which was pristine and perfect as always. No shit, he's Captain fucking America. He quickly dismissed the thought, believing that the stress he was under was getting better of him. Okay, so then here Steve goes and visits Tony and he says, Tony says, "Hey Cap, how have you been? Come in and sit down. That chair cost me $5 grand. It's pretty spectacular, isn't it? Just be careful and don't break it." I won't ruin your chair. I'm not that heavy, Tony," Steve choked out, feeling as if he had a lump in his throat. I know where he has a lump. Here comes the boring part, blah blah blah. He apologizes. They go and sit down and eat dinner. And then, yeah, so during dinner, Steve had to force himself to eat. It felt as if he had butterflies in his stomach and he was too nervous to look at Tony in his eyes. He kept thinking about those big brown eyes and how cute his smile was, and it was starting to make him feel sick. Why am I thinking about Tony like this? This doesn't make any sense. Stop thinking about him. It's not your fault he looks so adorable when he eats. No, wait. It's not cute when he eats. There's food everywhere and his mouth is covered in sauce. Why would anyone think that's cute? In this situation, it kind of, damn, this isn't a war, I'm going to win, he thought to himself, feeling frustrated and confused by his inner monologue. You okay, Steve? I've been talking to you for the past 5 minutes and you haven't responded at all. I thought you were supposed to be an exemplary guest. What, no? Tony mumbled, his mouth full of shawarma. I still haven't tried shawarma. Steve immediately blushed and realized, he had an erection. Okay. We'll stop here for now, and next time we'll find out what happens on the dramatic reading of fanfiction with Soul Glow. I'm out.